Welcome to another exciting episode of the Community Life Podcast Show, where we bring you real stories from local businesses, events and charities in Surrey, Hampshire and Berkshire. Our mission is to support our community and showcase its amazing people. So sit back, relax and enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, Tammy here from SMJ Media Group. We are back at the Login Lounge in Camberley, and today I'm very excited because we have back on the show Lucy Lyons. Hello.
Hello Tammy, thank you so much for inviting me back. It's brilliant to be here.
It's so good to have you because last time I interviewed you we were talking about the Finding Machine book, and you've got another one. When did this one come out?
I think that one came out February this year, so I've been busy writing my third book since then, so it's just been extremely busy with writing projects. It's been brilliant.
Exciting. And you've got these, are they both on audio now or just one?
No, so I'm talking to my audio voice actor today, actually, to do the voice for Alex Martin for The Finding Machine. So that's in the pipeline. And then hopefully she'll do the second one, maybe the third one. So growing the series for people so that they can finish one book, go on to the next and see what Alex's adventures and where they lead her.
Brilliant. So obviously without giving too much away, because we don't want to spoil everything, what are these about?
So the first book's set in 1998 in Hertfordshire, and Alex Martin is living a pretty sad single life. She's 29. She's flat sharing with a very handsome guy called Anthony, but she hasn't let her feelings show. And one day the postman arrives with a package for her, and it inside is her late father's mysterious invention. And Alex, it brings her back to life, and she has to decide, what does this machine do? Why did he build it? And who did he build it to find?
She needs to get some old batteries first, doesn't she?
There's a lot of technical issues that she has with finding out how this thing works. There are no plans, there are no instructions. Yeah. She asks Anthony for some help. So he helps her in some respects, going together to try and find out and then solve the mysteries. And there are several mysteries. There's a mystery inside the machine, the mystery of the machine, the mystery of her father. And then she solves some other mysteries of missing people and even animals as she goes through the book to learn how the machine works and its capabilities.
Exciting. Now, I have started reading it. I confess I'm only a few chapters in at the moment, but what I have read has got me itching to find out more. And that's what you want. You want your readers to keep coming back and wanting to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and it's fantastic because I'm loving the 90s, and we move on to the second book, which is set at the turn of the millennium in December 99. Everyone's extremely excited about going into the 21st century, but they're also governments and big organisations are extremely concerned about what's going to happen at the turnover with electronics, with clock chips, with all these types of things and computers. And it's not just it wasn't just computers that you had in your office or your home. There were computers in everything by then. Elevators, alarm systems, Jack knows.
Yeah, because even lifts and you're saying like alarm systems, security, CCTV, kind of anything electronically kind of has a BIOS clock.
Yes.
I didn't realise that about lifts, though. I didn't realise that.
Yeah, because they're run by computers and stuff. Or some sort of electronics anyway, kind of cut down version. Cash machines.
Cash machines, Visa had huge problems with cards with 00 on them. Lots of payments were rejected. And I do explore things that did happen because people say nothing happened. And in fact, I've got an end word in the book explaining what actually did happen. A lot of things have been happening since 1988 with failures, and a lot of companies weren't preparing for the turnover. So almost everything I mentioned about Y2K is true. It actually did happen. There was a temporary mortuary set up outside Heathrow Airport. People were very worried about the planes.
Wow.
There were no planes across Scotland, and the air traffic control system people thought that there was a failure, and they were really panicking because how often do you see no planes when you're working at Glasgow or Edinburgh? And it turned out nobody wanted to fly.
Oh, my goodness.
So the interesting time around that, because I remember the company I used to work for, because I was in IT, we had this software developed that would test each machine, whether it's going to be compliant or not. But my boss, we worked it out. All we had to do is put the BIOS clock forward and let it run overnight. We did that on some servers where we just set the clock forward, see if it turned over to do the Y2K. And that was the best way of testing it. But then there's all these software companies that were developing this software just to do that kind of test. So a lot of money was made out of the IT companies for testing wise.
I remember seeing documentaries on people who spent their life saving because they really believed the world was going to end at the stroke of midnight.
These are the preppers, weren't they? They had the bunkers, they had their baked beans, and they had their tuna, and they were going underground. And also that's mentioned. But of course, the great thing about this is the finding machine also has a clock chip in it, and there is going to fail. So that drives a sense of urgency as Alex gets drawn into some old cold cases with a character from the first book, but I won't spoil it and say who, and investigates several old cold cases that turn out to be much more sinister than they initially appear.
Oh, amazing. It's got that true crime feeling about it.
But in a cozy way. I mean, it's still a cozy mystery, but it doesn't mean it's not addressing quite serious things. I actually just am very interested by this genre. It's so broad, the cozy crime genre, and it doesn't shy away from tough things that have happened.
What inspired you to write these type of books?
These types of books came out of nowhere during lockdown, and I just decided I want to write a book, and I want to write something different to the fantasy that I have been writing in the past. And I can honestly say it just poured out of me. It just was like I'd been holding it in, and it just came forward onto the page. Saying that, this first book did undergo a lot of rewriting because my enthusiasm got the better of me, as my readers pointed out. So it did undergo significant rewrites before it ended up in its current iteration.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you've got the same artist working. Is it going to have the same artist on the third book as well?
Stefan at Spiffing Publishing. I'll give him a shout out. He's incredible. And the third book is a spy book set in summer. Because we've had such a lamentable summer, I thought the only way I'm going to get any heat or a 99 ice cream is if I write it.
What year is the latest one?
2000. So it's called The Naughty Spy, and naughty is spelt with an O.
Yeah.
And it's much more of a spy novel. We're looking into the mysterious organisation which her dad used to work for.
So this one's... sorry, say the years again.
98.
First one, 98.
99.
Oh, you have one each year.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, each year.
With the year 2000, I think I've got possibility maybe to do 2 books in that year as well. So that's good. It sounds quite futuristic, 2000, but if you look back at technology, we were still not very far away from 98, really.
Yeah.
What do you remember, Jack? Do you remember the...
Lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Tamagotchis.
Tamagotchis is the one thing
Oh, phone. I remember phones as well, how they changed over the years.
Yeah.
And you could go, I mean, I remember coming to the end of my contract and think, I need a new phone. What styles out there?
Yes.
And you just go and shop and see all those different styles. And obviously movies are creating phones within the movies. They will be on there. You can buy.
Matrix.
Yeah, the Matrix.
The Matrix is mentioned. Gladiator came out 2000. There were some absolutely cracking films that came out that year.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. But yes, also USB sticks. Although storage capacity on them was pretty limited.
And they broke a lot and you lose everything.
I mean, going way back before that when storage was really tiny. And now look at where we are now.
Floppy disks.
Oh, yeah, floppy disks.
Could probably put like a couple of pages on and that's about it.
So there was a lot of old technology coexisting alongside these new companies that were really pushing forwards, Japanese companies mainly, I might say.
You can go on Facebook Marketing and pick up all the older like tech and stuff now because it's now retro, isn't it? Everyone's like gamers now that are born this kind of generation are now looking at the old tech.
Well, next year it's a quarter of a century ago.
Don't say that.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? It does. 2000 does not seem 24 years ago to me.
I mean, if you think about it, we're still waiting for eBay, we're still waiting for Amazon, we're still waiting for Facebook, we're still waiting for broadband, we're still waiting for so much stuff. We're still waiting for smartphones. We're still walking around texting with a press pad thing, and people are using Blackberries and they're using filofaxes still.
In some ways, those days are missed. I'm not going to lie. Become too addictive these days, some certain technology.
Well, back then you had choices when you bought your tech. This time now it seemed to be the same kind of design. It's just what's inside that's changing.
Yes,
which is a
and
bit of shame.
you had to have a separate camera.
Yeah.
You couldn't just...
Yes. So it's really good if you're, I have to admit, it does take me back. I have enjoyed what I'm reading so far. I feel like I'm 16 again.
I think as well, the story, it's lovely to narrate it. The technology of the finding machine goes so well with this technology. It harks back to the 70s. It's also got futuristic elements that draw in elements of GPS and things that weren't commonly available. But it's also got that element which is inexplicable about, how it works. And... I don't want to give too much away because I think part of the mystery is you just want to accept that and then just run into the adventures that she gets herself into. But of course, the problem she has especially working with the police, is explaining how she finds people when there's no evidence, there's no trail of clues leading. She can just find you.
So she's making herself almost a suspect.
Yeah. So she relies very much on the person that she's working with to cover for her.
Yeah.
So one of the things I've been looking into is the way that the police forces have sometimes used psychics to solve cases. And so, you know, this person has said, you know, they had used them in the past, so they put her down as a psychic.
A Medium series was based off of that, wasn't it? Someone in America that they used, but obviously they can't put it out there. But
so it's interesting. So we just use that, but then we try to make it as, you know, realistic as possible with the investigation and the case that's given no priority by the police. In fact, that's one of the reasons why she's allowed to work it.
Mm-hmm. And where can people buy these amazing books?
Well, I'm on Amazon, and also you can order the books online and pick them up in Waterstones, your local Waterstones if you prefer. So if you just look for my name, I should come up, hopefully.
Brilliant. And we can also check you out on Instagram as well, and Facebook.
Yes,
is that right?
under Lucy Lyons Writes, Instagram, Facebook, my website as well, and on your podcast channel.
Yes, because we've interviewed a few times. Oh, and also we've done some retro talking about other things as well. So we've had Lucy on a few times.
We'll link this up on the video. So if you're on YouTube watching the video, there'll be links on there to all the other ones.
I mean, there's no shortage. I think people are really interested now in talking about the 90s. It seems, as you say, it doesn't seem that far away until you look at the technology and the battery on your laptop goes after 2 hours and you can't carry it because it's so heavy.
And there's actual costumes of 90s in costume shops now. It's like, what? What?
Power suits.
Yeah.
Power lunches.
Do you remember there's like jetpacks and stuff? Then they kind of like do exist, you know, but yeah.
Bomber jackets with the zip on the side.
Oh, God, yeah.
I used to love that zip on the side pocket.
Wearing jeans really baggy, sort of like American hip-hop, sort of low, really low.
I had the kind of flares style that came back and like the big chain on, a bit gothy.
I remember being at school, my mum used to put us in flares, but flares had gone out by that time, you know.
They came back. You
should
have kept them for when they came back.
Kind of different style now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And I'm excited for you and can't wait till we can hear more about when the third book comes out. And I promise when I finish the first one, I would love for us to talk a bit more about it, but I'll still obviously have to be careful and not give away too much.
Oh, brilliant, Tammy. Thanks so much for letting me come along and talk about my books. It's been brilliant.
Thank you so much for coming in again.
Thank you.